booking in matches with Victoria when the concept of twin magic was first revealed on Friday Night SmackDown, and that was a gimmick that would carry the Bellas on to eventually winning the Divas Championship, or at least carry Brie Bella on to becoming the Divas Champion. That's what we're going to be talking about this week. We're going to make reference to the fact that the Bellas were on SmackDown. They were traded from SmackDown to Raw. They didn't do much at first. When they were moved from SmackDown to Raw, they just did something with the guest host. They did a Daniel Bryan angle. They worked with Gail Kim. They got a victory over Lay Cool. You can kind of count the things that the Bella Twins collectively as a unit had the opportunity of doing and what they accomplished. One of the biggest things, perhaps the biggest thing they ever accomplished, was winning the Divas Championship. Of course, they're going to be incorporating Twin Magic into the defenses of the Divas Championship to come in the coming weeks on Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Of course, now they have acquired the Divas Championship for the first time ever. The Bella Twins are now exclusive to Raw and SmackDown, and I think this is great that they're exclusive to both brands right now, because on Raw they weren't doing much other than accompanying guest hosts in their angles on Raw when Raw had a weekly guest host. So now they're going to be able to have something more to do, being that they're exclusive to both shows, and they're going to be defending the Divas Championship on occasion. Are they going to have a gimmick similar to Lay Cool, where both of them were the Divas Champion? Will they both be defending the Divas title? Well, I can remember when the Spirit Squad had the WWE Tag Team titles, and every week, they change up the team. Different members of the Spirit Squad would defend the tag team titles. One week it would be Kenny and Mike Mondo. The next week it would be Mitch and Mike Mondo. They'd kind of switch it up from week to week with different tag team partners. And each week on SmackDown, a different member of Lay Cool would defend the Women's or Divas Championship. So I think that from week to week on Raw or SmackDown, you'll see Brie Bella defend the Divas title, who is the current and official Divas Champion right now. And then on another week, on another edition of SmackDown or Raw, you'll probably see Nikki Bella defend the title. So I think they're going to kind of change it up and go the same route as the Spirit Squad did with the tag team titles, or Lay Cool did with the Divas title when they first won it. I think we're going to see something like co-Divas Champions again. But like I said, they started out working on SmackDown, working in programs with Victoria. Victoria always had a God-given ability where she was able to get a talent over to the fact where they would, to the point in their career where they had the opportunity to contend for the Women's Championship or the Divas Championship. Victoria has garnered a tremendous name for herself in the professional wrestling industry. She was one of the only divas to pin the legendary Trish Stratus and actually beat her for the Women's Championship. Very few people can say they did that in their Diva run with WWE, and Victoria is one individual who can say she did that, and she was able to catapult the Bella Twins into top contenders and future Divas champions. So I think that Victoria definitely deserves a great deal of credit for what she did, not only in the WWE, but in TNA as well. I remember seeing the Bellas for the first time on SmackDown. I didn't really know a whole lot about them, other than hearing about them through different social networks like MySpace, which at that time was the #1 social network on the internet, being overtaken by Facebook now, which virtually every WWE superstar is on. Of course, the Bella Twins are one of the superstars that are actually on the list of individuals who have Facebook now. I think a Facebook and a Twitter account is a requirement for every WWE superstar now, but I remember hearing about the Bellas on different social networks, particularly MySpace, and when I saw them for the first time, of course, it was only one Bella at that particular point in time, and then they were trying to introduce the concept of twin magic. I was wondering what was going on when one Bella would hide under the ring, and then out of nowhere on the other side of the ring, the other Bella would show up and get the victory. They got a number of upset victories over Victoria, and then it was only a matter of time before Victoria revealed that there were two Bellas instead of one, and the concept of twin magic was revealed and introduced to the WWE Universe, and I think everybody stuck with it. On occasion, the idea of twin magic is a very unpopular decision. When the Bellas were baby faces and crowd favorites, it was always popular to see the Bellas switch. Sometimes it would work for them, sometimes it would backfire. The concept of twin magic would allow them to earn a victory over Lay Cool, who at the time when they earned the victory were the co-Women's or Divas champions. So I think that, the twin magic concept has really gotten over well with the WWE Universe, be it that the Bella Twins are now heels after the Daniel Bryan angle didn't go the way they planned. I think that twin magic is becoming a very unpopular thing to do for the Bellas. The fans aren't really getting behind it as they were in the earlier years of the Bella's career, but I think that Twin Magic is a very innovative way for the Bella Twins to get over on occasion on editions of Raw and now editions of SmackDown, be it that they're now exclusive to both brands, which is a phenomenal direction to take the Bellas in. I have a page full of notes here, so I'm going to try to get down through these notes as quickly as possible so we can talk about this topic and leave the rest up to you so you can be the judge on Brie Bella acquiring the WWE Divas Championship for the Bella Twins. They're going to be defending the title together as a collective unit. I would presume over the next couple of weeks they're probably going to be throwing in there in angles with the former Divas champion Eve, Natalya. A number of different Raw superstars are definitely going to be flying for the Divas title, and a number of SmackDown superstars like Kelly are eventually going to be in contention for it as well. You're going to see the Bellas on both shows for the first time ever, so it's going to be awesome. This is going to be the first time since they were traded from SmackDown to Raw that their characters are going to be used to their fullest ability, so it's going to be fun to see. I have a number of notes here that I've compiled. So we started off talking about Victoria and how she got the Bellas over to possibly being contenders for the Divas title, and the phenomenal amount of work Victoria did on SmackDown. And we just recently talked about the idea of Twin Magic. And the question I have for the listening audience out there is: are you a fan of the Bellas and Twin Magic? Do you like the concept of Twin Magic, or do you think it would be better to eliminate the idea of Twin Magic and have the Bellas go their separate ways? Be it the Brie Bella's the Divas champion now. Is this the appropriate time to split them up? I don't think it is. I enjoy the idea of Twin Magic. I think it's awesome. I think it gets over well with the WWE Universe. No matter if the Bellas are heels or baby faces, I enjoy the idea of Twin Magic, but as I've always said here on the show, your opinion is the opinion that matters. So I'm going to pose that question to you, a very interesting poll question we can have on our website for a weekly poll. Do you enjoy the concept of Twin Magic? I'm going to say I do, but I think there are a lot of people out there in the listening audience that probably don't like the idea of Twin Magic and think it's a very unfair advantage that the Bellas have had over the last 3 or 4 years, and probably something that WWE officials should start cracking down on. Eve Torres had a very innovative idea of telling the Bellas apart, but the Bellas found a way to snatch the victory and the Divas title. Very innovative by the Bellas and very creative, very ingenious, I think. But do you enjoy the idea of Twin Magic? That would be a very interesting weekly poll for us to tabulate the results of here on the website, and I'm very interested in hearing what you people have to say about that. You can send us an email about Twin Magic over at hewrestling@hotmail.com. The Bellas working as a tag team, they have very good tag team chemistry. Now, they don't have a very good win and loss record. They have more losses in the loss column than they do in the win column. But the amount of teamwork that we have seen from the Bellas in the past number of years has been absolutely phenomenal. On occasion, they get into a number of different disputes and arguments and stuff like that, but they always put their differences aside and let bygones be bygones, and I've really enjoyed seeing the Bellas work together as a tag team and a collective unit over the years. Teamwork is always better than fighting and getting into fisticuffs and what have you, and little brawls. We've seen the Bellas go one-on-one on different occasions when the guest host would pit them against one another. We've seen them compete against one another in battle royals and actually eliminate one another. We've seen them, kind of go back and forth, and for a while there it seemed like WWE Creative were taking the Bellas in different directions from week to week, but obviously the Bellas let bygones be bygones and realize that it's better to be a unit, a collective unit, than on opposite sides of the ring fighting against one another. So I think that I've really enjoyed seeing the Bellas, kind of mix it up from week to week, and I enjoy seeing them work as a collective tag team unit. And if there was ever a Divas tag team division, I think the Bellas would be in top contention for the tag team titles. Their tag team collective unity has allowed them to garner a victory over Laycool on an edition of Monday Night Raw. It wasn't a very long match, probably 3 to 5 minutes in length. The Bella Twins got a roll up on either Layla or Michelle McCool, but they have garnered a victory over the tag team Laycool, who are probably one of the best tag teams to ever step through the ropes in regards to women's wrestling. And I think that definitely a matchup between Wendy Richter and the Fabulous Moolah would be an awesome tag team match to have them go up against Laycool. Definitely, I'll go on record for saying that. But the Bellas have done something that no other Divas tag team has been able to say, with the exception of Kelly and Beth Phoenix and a number of very selective few WWE Divas. Kelly and Beth Phoenix are 3-0 now, as a tag team against Lay Cool, and it was very interesting to most recently see Kelly and Beth Phoenix win against Lay Cool. But the Bellas are in that same category with one victory at least over Lay Cool, and definitely WWE Creative, or at least someone in WWE Creative likes the Bellas because they're obviously getting pushes. So, definitely anytime you can show good tag team continuity and get a victory over a team like Lay Cool, you're doing something right. When they were traded from SmackDown to Raw, they kind of, took a back seat to the Awesome Divas division on Raw. We didn't get to see them do much until the whole guest host thing on Monday Night Raw wrapped up and was terminated almost completely. From week to week, we would see the Bellas featured with different guest hosts like Bob Barker. There was one week where they were Showcase Showdown girls, and they were, showing the prices for the price games that were played on Raw when Bob Barker was the guest host of Monday Night Raw. There was another week where they do something stupid with another guest host. They did something with Pee Wee Herman, I think his name was, and Shaquille O'Neal, and a number of other guest hosts that had the privilege of guest hosting Monday Night Raw. They did something with Ozzy Osbourne. Every week we would see the Bella Twins, being involved in different angles with different guest hosts, and the other divas would kind of make fun of them. But that was a lack of creativity on the part of WWE Creative, and the blame doesn't need to be necessarily put on the Bellas, who are phenomenal talents. The blame needs to be put on WWE Creative for not really utilizing the Bellas to their fullest potential. When they could have been in the ring improving their craft, they were backstage in these pointless vignettes with these guest hosts like Bob Barker and a selective other few. I think that definitely that was a wrong move on the part of WWE Creative, and they should have been trying to book the Bellas in programs with Lay Cool or other divas, which they failed to do. So I think that moving them from SmackDown to Raw, having them involved with different guest hosts, was a good way to introduce them to the Raw audience, but it wasn't a good way in terms of athletic and creative ability on the part of WWE Creative, and I'm very happy to most recently see the Bellas make this heel turn. I think it's great for their career. I'm very happy to see how the program with Daniel Bryan turned out. I like their work with Gail Kim, and I enjoy their work being contenders for the Divas title and working with Eve Torres. I think they're going to be phenomenal acquisitions for Monday Night Raw in years to come, and I hope they don't make the decision to trade the Bellas back from Raw to SmackDown. I think that when they were drafted as a collective unit, it was a smart move, but the way they were introduced to Raw was the wrong way of doing it, and they almost got released and almost ruined their whole career. I think that was in either 2009 or 2010 draft, one of the two drafts. I think it was the 2010 draft or 2009. I'll go on record for saying the 2009 draft, but I think it was a very wrong way to bring the man